Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visite suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Манай нэвтрүүлгүүд олон хэлээр гардаг. Зочлог хаяг suprememastertv.com ташаа зураас schedule.
Heaven is love. Heaven knows only good. Heaven is where peace is. Heaven is where wisdom is. Heaven knows only beauty. Heaven is harmony of being. Heaven is permanent happiness. Heaven is immortality realized. Please continue watching to find out more.
Ciao cari spettatori, that means hello dear viewers, in Italian. I'm Vicente. The progressive people of Sardinia wish you good advancement in your spiritual practice. May God love you and your family with abundant blessings. The Spirited Periodical, the world's advanced thought, was founded by Lucy A. Mallory in 1886. Lucy served as both publisher and editor of the paper, and wrote for it as well. Through these uplifting periodicals, Lucy Mallory advocated vegetarianism, the loving-kindness way of living, the truth and the light, advanced spiritual ideas, spiritualism and also equal rights for women and national minorities, civil liberties and initiatives, and diverse humanistic ideas, including a single monetary system and a single language for all of humanity. Lucy Mallory was a woman way ahead of her time, and she is very well known in the field of metaphysics, creative visualization, and positive thinking. She was an eminent philosopher, humanitarian, feminist, animal lover and animal rights activist, and a vegetarian advocate of that century. She once said, "Vegetarianism is becoming worldwide. We are not speaking of forced vegetarianism. That doesn't count. We are speaking of vegetarians who have adopted the humane diet because of a sense of justice to animals." We now share with you selections from the periodical The World's Advanced Thought. A worldwide destroyer. There are numbers of people who eat murdered food, who are not moved one iota by any argument that vegetarians can bring to bear upon them. They are neither moved by showing them how unjust and cruel it is to animals to murder them to eat their bodies, nor how much healthier they would be and better fitted to enjoy life if they would abstain from eating flesh. But there is one view of the subject that we will now present for their consideration. Of the three great evils in the world, flesh eating, liquor drinking, and tobacco using, the eating of flesh is the only one directly based upon cruelty and murder, the greatest crimes in the calendar. It is the only one of the three above mentioned that makes an inferno of happy lives of innocent animals, that starves countless numbers of them in winter's freezing weather and brutally inflicts nameless tortures and torments upon them in transporting them to the slaughterhouses by sea and land in summer's stifling heat. Now we wish to speak of the agonizing, torturing results to those who, disregarding these unspeakable happenings, eat the murdered flesh of these creatures done most brutally to their death with all this long agony and fear upon them. All the flesh of these creatures is rank poison. In many instances, it may not bring forth the terrible results of ingesting it in the stomach immediately, but sooner or later, consumption, cancer, rheumatism, and host of other horrible diseases show forth in the bodies of those who disregard the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill." There can be no excuse in this enlightened age for the flesh-eating habit to be continued. The truth that sets free is now everywhere known, and it is the only thing that must be put in practice to wipe out forever the error that destroys, else the fearful price must be paid. If you have no regard for the harmony and happiness of lesser forms of life, there is no power in the universe that has any regard for the harmony and happiness of your life. As you gave, you receive. And the Hades, O humanity, you have made of the lives of animals equally the handiwork of God with your own, is returned to you with its increase in diseases, disasters, war, and their wholesale horrors, terrors, and destruction. Heaven. Heaven is love. Heaven knows only God. Heaven is where peace is. Heaven is where wisdom is. Heaven knows only beauty. Heaven is harmony of being. Heaven is permanent happiness. Heaven is immortality realized. Heaven sees beyond all crudeness, is divine perfection. Heaven is never-ending progress and ever-growing perfection. Heaven is the new age come to earth to transform its chaotic state to divine harmony. Heaven is light, the light of love, the light of pure intelligence, the light of endless goodwill. Heaven knows no greed, envy, selfishness, jealousy, revenge, ingratitude, fault-finding, slander, anger, gluttony, or lust. Heaven is a place that corresponds to and is made by heavenly thoughts, so you take with you your own heaven that you have made. Heaven is where there is consideration by you for the happiness of all other forms of life, when we make their welfare our welfare. Heaven is all the purest, best, and most refined and ethereal force of life. Heaven established on earth in the hearts and minds of humanity will change what we now know as night into day, and there was no night there. Heaven is happiness materialized and realized in all one's being. Here you do the sowing and growing. You reap the crop in spirit life. It will be there to the uttermost detail of your life. Begin now, as soon as you can, to plant and grow your heaven in your mind, your spirit. Preparing for that. The only beneficial preparation one can make for that is to have the mind in a harmonious, peaceful condition and see all things as beautiful. To pass out of the flesh body with the mind in a disorderly, chaotic condition may engender a long period of unhappiness in spirit. In fact, one with the mind in disorder does not and cannot enter spirit life, for that life is the realm of joy, peace, and happiness. And one who has not trained his mind to these divine attributes remains earth-bounded. Not that any god relegates one to stay in chaos, but the spirit, by the influence of its own predominant thought, relegates itself to the plane of consciousness it is in harmony with. The most intolerable disease that humanity has to recover from is that of cruelty to animals. It is astonishing how few there are among good folks who are really kind and considerate to animals. There are quite a number who are indifferently kind to animals. That is, they would not mistreat them. But it is few indeed who would put themselves out in the least to do for animals. But until mankind has grown in love to where they look upon animals as one of themselves and treat them considerately as they would their own species, they will suffer and have torment. Thoughtful viewers, it's been a pleasure to have your company on today's selections from periodical The World's Advanced Thought, a periodical by Lucy A. Mallory, vegetarian, part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is Happy United Korea Peace Celebrations, Part 6 of 8, right after noteworthy news. May all of humanity turn their attention towards love and peace and acknowledge the divine in all beings on this planet.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.